We want to go now to the Americas. U.S. President Donald Trump has ordered a blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers heading in and out of Venezuela. Caracas has condemned the move, which is seen as putting more U.S. pressure on the government of President Nicolas Maduro. Last week, the U.S. seized an oil tanker off Venezuela's coast as it continues its military buildup in the Caribbean. Trump claims Venezuela uses oil to fund crime and is vowing the blockade will continue until the country returns, quote, oil, land, and assets to the U.S. Venezuela is home to the world's largest proven oil reserves. It relies on crude exports to survive. Well, shortly before Trump's blockade announcement, Maduro spoke to his supporters and he accused the U.S. of stealing Venezuelan natural resources.
Imperialism and right-wing Nazi fascists want to colonize Venezuela, to take our wealth. Our oil, our gas, our gold, iron, aluminium and other minerals. We have sworn to defend our homeland. And in Venezuela, peace will always prevail, along with stability and shared happiness for our people.
All right, I want to pull in now my colleague, Oscar Schlenker. He reported for many years from Venezuela. He's now monitoring events from here in Berlin. Oscar, good to see you. You know, in short order, we have gone from the U.S. military boarding one oil tanker to now the entire Venezuelan shadow fleet being sanctioned. What do you think this is going to mean for Maduro?
Yes, well, this is part of an escalation to pressure Maduro, but also to enforce sanctions that were put in place during Trump's first presidency. I think it also shows that Trump is not willing to act upon his threats of land operations in Venezuela and prefers to keep the pressure against Maduro at sea. This, of course, affects Venezuela's economy and the regime's pockets, but also some analysts suggest it could increase global oil prices. So Maduro and Trump will both be hearing from other countries in order to solve their political issues. We just have to see who bends first. But as of now, Maduro may be celebrating that he called Trump's bluff on these threats of land strikes that never happened. That's why we see him more defiant in his speeches as well.
Trump has also declared the Maduro government a foreign terrorist organization. Is this likely to impress the president of Venezuela?
No, I don't think, not likely. I think it adds pressure, of course, but it also limits Maduro on where to run if he decides to step down. But in terms of the accusations, I don't believe it affects the regime much. These are accusations investigative journalists have been making for years. It's the reason we have more than 20 journalists in prison. It's why many journalists have had to leave Venezuela, including myself. The Maduro administration's involvement in drug trafficking, human trafficking, illegal mining and smuggling is not new. We just have to see how the U.S. government will declare a whole other regime or government as a terrorist group. I think that is what is most unprecedented.
Let's talk then for a moment, Oscar, about what this means for the people who are inside Venezuela. I mean, they have suffered for years, you know this better than anyone, under their governments, as well as crippling international sanctions. Paint a picture of the situation there for us.
Well, the people feel like they're in the middle of a crossfire. They are the ones who suffer the most, and there is real fear of what is to come. Venezuelans are already adjusting to a prolonged and complex humanitarian crisis, and they are now dealing with a new economic recession that could reach hyperinflation in the coming months. We lived through 4 years straight of hyperinflation, and it's what sparked that humanitarian crisis, adding to all the human rights violations and crimes against humanity committed by Maduro's regime. It has prompted the largest migration of people in the hemisphere, with 9 million Venezuelan migrants in the course of a few years. So now NGOs and humanitarian organizations are bracing for the worst as the escalation continues, because neither Trump or Maduro seem frazzled, but the Venezuelan people are the ones who are feeling the burn in the end.
Yeah. My colleague Oscar Schlenker with the latest on Venezuela. Oscar, as always, thank you.